Welcome into the Analyst and the Armchair, an NFL podcast that's meant for every NFL fan. Whether you're a casual fan or a hardcore fan, we have something for you. I'm Michelle Majuk. I'm the Analyst part of the show.
And I'm Nycole, and I'm the Armchair.
Today, we are going to be discussing all the latest quarterback injury news, unfortunately. 5 quarterbacks that are dealing with injuries. We expect 4 of them to be out. Jaden Daniels, hopefully, can come through and still play this week. So we'll get into all of that and then start discussing the week 3 games. We have some big games that we're going to dig into at a deeper level. And then we'll give you a prediction for all 16 games with our prediction for who will win this week. Let's just dive right into it.
Sure.
Yeah, cool. Let's do it. So quarterback injuries this week, not great. We got Joe Burrow out for at least 3 months. Do you think we jinxed him with our little guy up there?
You know, it's probably because I picked the Bengals to lose last week. That was probably my fault.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and somehow they still won.
Yeah.
The Jaguars are that bad. We'll get to that later. But yeah, turf toe, unfortunately, he's going to be out for 3 months. I don't know if the Bengals are going to be able to survive without him.
Jake Browning came in and did an okay job. I mean, Jamar
3
Chase.
interceptions.
Okay. I said okay. I didn't say great. I didn't say good. They were able to squeak out a win. Yeah, and Jamar Chase looked great. Shout out to my fantasy team. So
that's literally the only shining moment of that is that they got the win. They're 2-0. Maybe they can survive. We'll see if Joe Burrow can even come back this year. I know they said 3 months, which means he can come back in the middle of December. But if the Bengals have a losing record, he's not coming back.
Right. Yeah.
So that stinks. That stinks with Bengals. That stinks for football watching because Joe Burrow is so much fun. And that stinks for fantasy for those of you who play. Brock Purdy also has turf toe. I guess that's a new thing this year. His is much less aggressive, so he's just expected to be out 2 to 5 weeks. He's already been out 1 week, so we'll see if maybe he can get back faster than we thought and come back this week. But I still expect him to be out 1 more week. Mac Jones got them the win last week. Yeah. But it was against the Saints, and I feel like everyone's freaking out about Mac Jones being like, see, he deserves another shot. It's like, okay, it was the Saints.
Well, but he looked good. I didn't say okay. I said good. He looked good. And yes.
You think he looked good?
I did, actually.
He looked okay. That would have been the right word.
I don't agree. I think it's good.
With his little 6-yard dump off and 2 fumbles.
Listen, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. I think it's also hard, to come in against a team like the Saints who are just like, they're going to be bad. I think it'll be an interesting game this week to see how he does coming in, fully starting. Just let's see what we have with him.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that game later. Spoiler alert, we do not agree on who will win this week because Nycole loves to hate on my favorite teams. J.J. McCarthy for the Vikings is out 2 to 4 weeks with an ankle injury. Atrocious game from him in week 2. They're moving to Carson Wentz as their backup. It's been a little bit since we've seen him out there for any extended amount of time in a real game. So, it can't be worse than what J.J. McCarthy put out there.
It can't. I like Carson Wentz for the same reason that, at the beginning of the season, I said I liked Joe Flacco and I liked Daniel Jones. You know what you're going to get. Hopefully he comes in and does what J.J. McCarthy would have done and or better. Hopefully better. J.J. McCarthy had 1 good quarter out of the 8 that he's played. So, surely Carson Wentz can do that.
Yeah. What's kind of crazy is that this week the Bengals play the Vikings. So we would have been getting Joe Burrow versus J.J. McCarthy. Instead, we are getting Jake Browning versus Carson Wentz. In week 3, to have 2 backups playing in the same game is absolutely wild. They need to protect these. What happened to the offensive lines?
Well, I think that's the question, and that's ultimately where people have to go with this. Is it that the quarterbacks are playing it very safe? I don't think so. At least with this group, it doesn't seem that way. So
now Burrow never plays through injuries at all, but I guess it was a really severe toe, like turf toe,
right.
Whatever.
But so then that leads to the question of then where is your problem? It's on the offensive line. So then, I think that goes to then talking about what's the problem. Is it the schemes? Is it the play call? Is it the personnel, right? Like then I think you do the bigger deep dive into what's the issue, especially with 5 quarterbacks in week 3 out.
Yeah, it's not great. Justin Fields has officially been ruled out already on Wednesday for the Jets with the concussion. So Tyrod Taylor will be starting there. Again, I don't know how different it'll be for the Jets. Like week 1, the Jets Justin Fields and Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson looked great. And then week 2, it looked exactly like we thought it was going to look like entering the season. It may have just been the Steelers' defense is that bad, and that's why the Jets look good in week 1. I don't know.
Well, and you had the Rodgers coming in back to the Jets. You had that whole rivalry. Fields going back to Pittsburgh. So I think it was hyped up, and so it was more exciting for that reason. I think though now we're seeing who the Jets probably really are, which is unfortunate.
I hope not.
I agree. I would like to see,
you can't have 27 passing yards.
It was bad. Listen, as the person who had him on fantasy, it wasn't great.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you had Brock Purdy, so you had to pick up Justin Fields. And
right.
That did not work out, but I enjoyed it. I like when you lose. Now, Jaden Daniels has a knee injury.
I'm so sad.
Yeah, you don't even want to talk about. No. But it does seem like it's just day to day. Like he's going to be okay.
Right.
We'll see if he can play this week. But out of this group, he has the best shot because McCarthy, Burrow, and Justin Fields are already out. So it's between him and Purdy. And I think Daniels has a much better shot of playing this week. I do think the Commanders could survive against the Raiders with Marcus Mariota starting a single game. Like I don't think they'd fall apart. Mm-hmm. But obviously they want Jaden Daniels out there.
Well, and he's throwing to Debo, so he's got plenty of options right now. Yeah.
He needs to start passing to Terry McLaurin a little bit more.
Well, yes, that has to be in the place
because they got their butts kicked.
Okay,
against the Packers.
I'm still not over it, and I don't really want to talk about.
Remember when Nycole picked the Commanders to beat the Packers last week?
And unfortunately, I thought I was correct.
You were not.
I had a lot of conviction actually about it. I just love my little Jaden Daniels and Debo, and I was just really hopeful that like the Packers weren't as great and beastly as people think they are, and I was wrong.
We'll see.
You'll only hear that every so often, so clip that if you want to.
The game was in Lambeau. We'll get to see get to see the Packers on the road this week against the Browns. So I don't think we're going to learn anything else about the Packers, but they have been impressive. Their defense has been good. I made fun of the Packers a lot this offseason.
You sure did. I believe underrated is, overrated is
it's been 2 weeks, all right? I'm not willing to. I will say it's looking like I was wrong, but I'm not fully ready to admit it yet.
She's not committing to
and I definitely
wrong,
don't come at me after 3 weeks because you beat up on the Browns. That doesn't matter. It doesn't count.
Well, the
Cleveland Browns aren't even an NFL team at this point.
It should be a good defensive game, though.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, my God.
I mean,
you just hate them.
I hate defensive games, so no, that's really
I know.
The Packers. Game will be. Yeah, the Packers defense is elite right now.
Yeah,
they're looking real good.
Yeah.
All right, let's hop into these week 3 games, and there's some bigger ones that we want to focus on because already getting into week 3, there's some stinker games with some really bad teams where in week 1 you're like, maybe they have a shot this year, and then after 2 weeks you're like, they have no shot. We're already giving up on them. So we're still going to give our prediction on those bad games with the worst, the bad teams playing, but we're not going to dig deep into those this week and just focus on the better matchups. So far through 2 weeks, I have been correct on what's my record? 27-5.
Yes.
So I've gotten 27 games right, 5 games wrong through 2 weeks. Nycole, you've been fine, 10-6 both weeks. So 20-12. Not the best, not the worst.
It's a good start. I think I'm only going to build from here. Mm-hmm. And if you follow us on Instagram, go find us on Instagram.
The Analyst and Armchair.
We do post our picks, a visual representation. I know we talk about them here on the show, but it's just a good way to see who we've picked and hopefully why Michelle is going to start being wrong, more often.
I have a little bit of a gap right now, and we will have some sort of punishment for whoever loses. at the end of the season.
Yeah, to be determined.
So you have some work to make up. And of course, you chose a lot of the same teams that I chose this week. So, trying to get on board with the analyst here. That's fine. Now, there is a lot of games, but they seem obvious this week, but we're going to get into those. So, first off, I think this is probably the most exciting game of the week, and it's the Rams against the Eagles. The Eagles right now are 3.5-point favorites at home. I think that's low. I think the Eagles are going to win. I think they win by more than 3.5 points. They handled, they've won each of the last 3 games against them. They played them twice last year, beat them both times in the regular season and the playoffs. And they won 18 of the last 19 games against the Rams, which is a crazy stretch.
That is a long time.
Yeah,
it is. Philadelphia is the clear favorite here. The 3.5 points did surprise me as well. I thought it would be higher. The thing that's so scary about the Eagles, going into week 3, I know it's early, all the things, but Jalen Hurts has not thrown a touchdown yet.
No.
What happens when he starts doing that?
Yeah.
The tush push, I know there's been a lot of talk around it because of, them talking about maybe trying to ban it this year. They didn't, but it's unstoppable. It just really is. And so, when you've got a running quarterback, when you've got a quarterback that just gets literally pushed into the end zone or over the line for that first down, I mean, it's hard to stop. So,
and people can make fun of them, like other fans. Players can make fun of them, like Chris Jones tried to do to Jalen Hurts when they literally were, the clock was ticking down. It was about to be 0. The Eagles clearly won. And he's like, you didn't even have 100 yards, which, by the way, he had 101.
Right.
And so you were wrong.
Check your stats.
Yeah. But then, why would it works? It works. So you'd be stupid not to do it just because you're like, I don't want people to make fun of us.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and
no one else can do it consistently.
And that's where where it is
build up your offensive line, get a quarterback who can squat 600 pounds, and you can also do it
once. That's a whole thing. But yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing that's so impressive about it is they've changed their people around, but they still make sure, hey, you've got to be able to do this. Yeah. So, and they pick guys who can. So,
what game were we watching? It was on, I think it may have been JJ McCarthy. It was one player on primetime this past week, and they tried to do the little tush push, and they fumbled the ball because they're like, you have to get so low on these plays.
Oh, it was
like
bad.
On the snap. Like, they're like, you don't understand. It's not that easy just to get this, the snap off.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jalen Hurts consistently does it without messing up. And I think, I don't think this play is as easy as everyone's making it seem. Quarterback sneaks in general have a really high success rate.
Right.
And this one, obviously, with the tush push, has a very high, insanely high success rate, but only with the Eagles.
Right. Yeah, because you said, we've seen other teams try. And here's the thing. I think the Rams defense is good, is decent.
Mm-hmm.
We only have, though, the opportunity to have watched them against the Texans, which don't even get me started right now, but against the Texans and the Titans.
Yeah.
So I think it's a situation where maybe they're giving them that 3.5 because of the Rams defense thus far, but it was against 2 teams that are struggling offensively.
I think it's a little bit of both where it's the Eagles have only put up 20 points, right, in each game. They haven't been putting up a lot of points, and Jalen Hurts isn't throwing the ball, and then the Rams, defense looking good.
Right.
I will say Saquon Barkley destroyed the Rams last year. So the Eagles outrushed the Rams 599 to 203 last year and over their 2 games. Saquon Barkley had over 200 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns in both of those games. Saquon Barkley put up 534 scrimmage yards over those 2 games. That was the most for a single opponent in a single season since at least 1950.
Wow.
Yeah. So their goal is to stop Saquon Barkley. Barkley had 4 rushing touchdowns of over 60 yards against the Rams last year. 3 of over 70.
Which let's say they do, right?
Yeah.
Well, then guess what? Jalen Hurts probably gets his passing touchdowns, hopefully to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
That's the same thing that happened last year. Everyone was like, well, they can't pass, they can't pass, they can't pass. as soon as they had a passing game, they could pass.
Right.
That's like I'm not worried if they stop Saquon Barkley. And Jalen Hurts will finally use AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. Like you said, it's going to be fine. So we both agree here. The Eagles are going to do their job against the Rams. They're at home, and we think they cover those 3.5 points. Now the thing is, this should be a great game, but I just know it's not going to be. It's the Lions at the Ravens. And now if this was the Ravens at the Lions, I think it could be a good game. But the Lions have to travel. Jared Goff has to play outside, and that's never pretty. And Vegas kind of knows that. The Ravens are 6-point favorites against the Lions, who just destroyed the Bears in week 2. Put up, 52 points? This
Insane.
Is a Monday Night Football game. We're both picking the Ravens. Why are you going with the Ravens?
The Ravens have scored in their first 2 games over 40 points in each game. It was 40 and 41, which one was a loss, which is insane, but I mean, their offense is, they look so good in every facet. That's what Derrick Henry having a garbage game last week. He had another fumble. Luckily it was recovered by the Ravens. And I'm like, what is happening to my Derrick Henry? Like the king. Like, is this the fall of the king? I'm terrified. But it doesn't even matter, it looks like. I think their offense is just stellar right now. Detroit, I hope it's a better game than they're anticipating because of how good the Lions were last week. Now I know it was against, the Bears. But Goff had 82% completion rate. Like, he just looked good. I'm stoked, and I hope he can continue that because I just acquired Amon-Ra in one of my fantasy leagues, and I'm stoked about it. So, yeah, I need him to pop off again. I think this game comes down to the defenses, and that's why I'm going with Baltimore also because it's at home for Baltimore, and they've just – I don't see the Lions slowing them down offensively.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just been a long time now where Jared Goff is just so much better at home in his dome. You take him outside, you put him on the road, and it's just not as pretty. The offense in general is not as pretty. This run game is going to have to run all over Baltimore, and maybe that can happen. I think I'm just I have some PTSD from 2023 when the Lions were looking so good at the end of the year and they're going to play the Ravens. And I'll put it out there. I'm a Steelers fan, so I'm always rooting for the Ravens to lose.
Right.
And the Ravens just stomped on them. They won 38-6. 38-6. So I think that's what I'm mostly I have in the back of my brain. But it is a lot of the same team. And obviously they lost their coordinators, but that's only a bad thing for the Lions. So yeah, I think the Ravens win this game. Do you think they cover those 6 points?
I hope they don't as a fan, of football, right? But I do. I actually do.
Yeah. And I'm not worried about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry had a couple of those games he disappeared last year. He'll be fine.
And the fumbles are what's worrying me.
Yeah, why is he fumbling?
I don't know.
He doesn't normally fumble.
I think he had 2 all of last season.
He already has 2 now.
And he already has 2. I could be wrong, but it's something crazy.
Yeah, Derrick Henry does not fumble, so.
Oh, I know.
I love him. Hold on to the ball, man.
Just hold on to it. Why you gotta drop it?
You know what? As a Steelers fan, keep dropping it. Keep fumbling it. That's okay. For no reason whatsoever, I'm excited for this next game. And it's because I am too obsessed with offense and fantasy football, and both of these defenses stink so bad. And it's the Cowboys against the Bears. And, man, I thought the Bears could be good this year, and maybe they can turn it around. But they're 0-2 and not looking pretty. The Cowboys are 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they beat the Giants in overtime. Kind of crazy it got to that. But I am taking the Bears. And I thought this was actually a bold take, but the Bears are somehow favorites, 1.5 point favorites. I did not expect that. You are taking the Cowboys.
I am.
Which I think is the same thing to do, personally.
How Chicago is favored, I'll never know. Maybe because it's in Chicago. That doesn't even make sense. Maybe? I don't know.
Well, yeah, normally if you're home, you get 3 points. And it kind of starts there.
Right.
Depending on how incredibly bad you are. So they're saying if this game was in Dallas, then Dallas would have been the favorites. But still, I mean, I'm picking the Bears, but I still think I'm crazy for doing it.
Well, and we've seen the Bears start off well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Caleb Williams has started off both of his first offensive plays with touchdowns.
Offensive drives, yeah.
Yeah, and then it just...
Do you know why that is?
Is shambly.
Do you want to know why it is?
Because he's bad? I mean, that's my prediction.
So all these play callers, right, they come up with scripted plays for the first drive.
Sure.
So they practice that and practice it all week long.
Right.
So Ben Johnson comes up with these great plays, and the first drive goes so smooth, right? Everything's scripted, everything's practiced, everything's smooth. So the first drive, both these games, perfect, score a touchdown.
Yeah.
After that, your scripted plays are done, and you have to all work together, and Caleb Williams just can't get it done.
Well, maybe they can start scripting out the second drive.
Right now, they need to start scripting out the whole game.
I mean, here's the thing. I think Dallas has to shut down Rome Odunze. He is the only person that Caleb Williams has thrown to, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Dallas shuts him down, we have to see DJ Moore, which I don't. He's fine.
DJ Moore's good, but he's not being utilized.
Again, though, I don't know that Caleb Williams is the guy. So... for those reasons, I think CD's completions are getting better and better. I mean, he had that week one, really bad game. And then I say really bad. He had those drops, right?
Yeah, it was a great game.
It was a good game. I shouldn't be,
the best game
that
with
punitive.
that many drops.
Right.
That many terribly important drops, too.
Right. I think he continues to just be, dominant. And Javonte Williams. I mean, I think he's been a surprise for Dallas, and I think he continues to do that against Chicago this week.
Yeah, there's no reason that Javonte Williams is somehow good. And it is wild, but it seems like they got a really good addition to their team for really cheap in the offseason. With all that said, I'm still going with the Bears. I get that they're 0-2 and they have not looked good whatsoever. However, they've had to play two really, really good teams, at least teams that were really good last year. I mean, both of the teams that they played had 14 or more wins last season with the Lions and the Vikings, right? They're actually the first team that had to play two teams with 14 or more wins the previous year in NFL history.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's a pretty big deal.
Listen, maybe Caleb Williams isn't as bad as I think he is, but I'm pretty sure he is. And
it's also a revenge game for Caleb Williams because Matt Eberflus, his old head coach that got fired last year, is now the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. And there is all this talk this offseason from this book. It's called American Kings, a biography of the quarterback. And I guess Caleb Williams' dad said that, the coaches were not coaching Caleb Williams at all. His exact words were, "No one tells me what to watch. I just turn it on," is what his dad said that Caleb Williams said to him.
Listen, anytime a parent is quoting their child, I'm going to take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah. So it's a revenge game, maybe for both. Maybe Eberflus is mad about that. And also Caleb Williams could have gotten Eberflus fired with his play, or Eberflus is really, really bad, which at this point, how bad the Cowboys defense is, I think Eberflus is really, really bad. But Caleb Williams could also be bad. Both could be bad.
Right. I guess this is the perfect game to find that out.
Yeah. And I do really just think the Cowboys defense is that bad that Caleb Williams could figure it out. Ben Johnson and him. So I'm going with the Bears. I don't feel super confident about it. But 1.5 points, give me that. Give me it. I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you.
All right. This next one, I'm really annoyed you're picking the same team as me. I would like you to keep going against them.
I would love to, but I need to ask for a ticket onto
the train
to jump on the Chargers train now.
Thank you. You're a little late, but Broncos versus the Chargers. I'm scared now that you're choosing them. They're going to lose.
I hope so. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I need some wins.
Yeah. The Chargers 2.5 point favorites. I think they win by a lot more than that. I think the Broncos have disappointed this year. Like they got the win in week 1 against the Titans. Woohoo! I mean, they also kept it way too close against the Titans. We were shocked by that, and that was a home game against the Titans. They go on the road against the Colts, and I mean, they should have won, right? They won. The kick was missed, but it touched the center or whatever, and they got the re-kick, and the Colts win. That was one of the games that we had different, so we were watching it at the edge of our seat. And I'm telling you right now, when he missed the field goal, she was such a little brat about it, like, like celebrating that she got the win. And then the flag came out, and I just was
so livid.
I was so happy. And then they kicked in and just kind of stayed silent.
No, she did not. She's like, that's what you get for cheering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was great.
It was not.
Yeah, the Colts beat the Broncos. There's no reason that they lost, but there's also no reason that defense allowed the Colts to put up 29 points. Like, we thought this defense was going to be really, really good. And through 2 weeks, again, week 1 against the Titans, you don't get much from that. Week 2, allowing, maybe the Colts are just this insanely good offense over the first 2 weeks, is from what they're showing us, but I don't know. I think the Chargers are going to handle it. Their defense has been so good, the Chargers defense, for now since the start of last year, and it's not looking any weaker. And Justin Herbert is looking so good. So I'm going to keep picking the Chargers.
I picked the Chargers because I need a ticket to on the train. But I think if the Broncos want a chance in this game, they have to target Cortland Sutton more.
Mm-hmm.
The defense has to be able to pressure Justin Herbert. I mean, that's the only way they'll even have a chance. And, the Chargers will need to limit J.K. Dobbins. I mean, it's just, I was like, man, the Chargers look good. But then I was like, do they just look good because they're like Geno Smith keeps throwing interceptions all game? And so I was really teetering. I was like, man, this is tricky because, again, is it Geno Smith was looking bad or were the Chargers looking good? But I'm on the train, so I'm going with Chargers this week.
Yeah. Herbert has 5 straight games with 115 or higher passer rating. Longest such streak since Patrick Mahomes did it in 2018. He is on a roll. Justin Herbert is looking like MVP level quarterback right now.
Listen, he's looking very good, and this is one that you said in week 1 or 2 that I will give you. You were very wrong about the Packers. You were very wrong about.
You're going to just start naming stuff I'm wrong about?
I need to. I feel like you're dogging on me today. So you were wrong about a few things, but this one you got right.
Okay, cool. All right, let's go to our next game, and it's your team, the Texans, who are 0-2. Very prideful over here, but they at least they should win this game. And this will be the first time I'm picking the Texans. I picked them to lose the first 2 weeks, and I have been right. You have picked them to win because you're a homer, and unfortunately, they have disappointed you. But this week against the Jaguars, they should win.
I don't think it's that they should win. They have to win. This is a have to win game. I am over it. I am so. Listen, you already know I'm the armchair. I have opinions. I do yell at the TV. When I tell you I was in my living room, standing up with my hands on my hips, yelling at the Texans on Monday night, I really was. Okay, my throat was sore because I was yelling at the team. When your most exciting play comes from your special teams, from a blocked punt.
Nick Chubb had a long touchdown run. You weren't excited with that?
That's because he had one run that was decent. It did end up in a touchdown, but their running backs were so bad. Like, literally, they'd run like not even a half a yard, stopped. Like, it was awful to watch. As somebody that was like, man, they've got to win this game. Like, I want them to win this game against Tampa Bay. And I just, oh my gosh, I was so mad. I think Jacksonville is going to rely on the run this week with Etienne. He's so good. He's so good. So, are they going to use Travis Hunter more? I don't think so. And so this has to be a Houston win. I'm not even going to be like, I hope they win. No, they have to win, or everything about CJ Stroud in his rookie year it doesn't matter anymore.
I don't want to put it on CJ Stroud because he's literally getting no time, right? His offensive line is so incredibly bad. Every time the ball gets to him, the defense is on top of him. So it does seem like anytime he gets a couple seconds even, like give him 2 to 3 seconds, which is what a quarterback needs to be successful, he looks really like he still has a great arm. He's accurate. He can throw deep. Like, just give him some time. And they need to let him connect with Nico Collins. He needs to find Nico Collins more too, but it's hard to do that when you don't have 1 second to even look around.
Well, even the first game they played, he was targeting Dalton Schultz more. And I was like, great, he's a big dude in the middle of the field, great. But the second game, it was like he was invisible this game. So it's like, I need them to throw the ball more, and I need them.
It is while they're leaning on the run when they don't have the run at all.
It makes no sense.
I mean, I get they have to do it because they need the pass rush to stop coming at CJ Stroud nonstop. And the only way to get that to stop is to successfully run. So they're trying to get the run game going. It's just not working. But I do think against the Jaguars, they should be able to run. They should be able to pass because their pass defense is horrendous. And the Texans have won 12 of the last 14 games against the Jaguars. And just get your offense going whatsoever. The thing is, I don't have any trust in the Jaguars, and that's why I'm picking the Texans. Like, Trevor Lawrence, you had a 7-point lead. Joe Burrow goes down. Jake Browning comes in the game. And you throw Jake Browning throws 3 interceptions, and you end up losing that game? Like, your defense gets 3 interceptions for you? You had a 7-point lead? I don't even know how that's possible to lose that game. Now, Brian Thomas Jr. is doing no favors for Trevor Lawrence whatsoever. He's really, really scared of getting hurt, apparently. He will not put his body in the way at all, which I can't judge. I don't want to go get hit either, but sure. I'm not an NFL wide receiver. But that
paid millions of dollars. Yeah.
Insane. The Jaguars lost that game to the Bengals. So that's why I have to take the Texans, because if you can't win that game, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. All right, let's get to another game we disagree on now. And it's, why do you just like to root against my teams?
This one I didn't purposely do.
Okay.
Sometimes I do.
It's the Cardinals against 49ers. Mm-hmm. The 49ers are 1.5-point favorites, and I am clearly taking them because they're the better team, even without their starting quarterback, even without their best offensive weapon in George Kittle, even without a couple pieces of their offensive line and their fullback and maybe without Jawan Jennings and all their wide receivers, they're still the better team. And why? Because the Cardinals still employ Drew Petzing, who might be the worst offensive play caller in the league right now. There's no reason he kept his job this offseason, and he's terrible now. So I'm not worried about the Cardinals offense. They can't do anything on offense. They came and hit 300 total yards, and they played 2 of the worst defenses from last year in the first 2 weeks. So I don't care. The Cardinals are 2-0. You played the Panthers and the Saints. Congrats.
You're right. You're not wrong.
I love to hear that.
I think the problem is, I think it's hard to go in and play bad teams because I think you play worse. So I think this game will be a really good.
I think the Cardinals are just playing the Cardinals.
I think this game will be a good testament to Arizona playing well. That's why I picked them. I think Kyler Murray he has to find Marvin Harrison Jr.
He's not going to.
He has to.
You can see he has to.
Find Marvin Harrison Jr. more. And I really just think the 49ers are so beat up. Like, how long can Christian McCaffrey and Ricky Pearsall be your offense? And every 5 seconds, Jawan Jennings is like, I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out. So I can't count on that guy. So, to me, it's like, how long can your offense keep up? So that's why I know the Cardinals defense is bleh, but they have to force turnovers from Mac Jones.
Yeah, they do. And if they do that, like that, there is definitely ways for the Cardinals to win this game, right? Like Mac Jones could be,
those things.
Yeah, Mac Jones could be horrendous. We've seen that plenty of times. They could stop Christian McCaffrey, which is something they've never done. no player has put up more scrimmage yards per game in a career against the Cardinals than Christian McCaffrey has. 147 scrimmage yards per game he has averaged in his career against the Cardinals. In his last 2 matchups against them, he had over 175 scrimmage yards and 3 touchdowns in both matchups. Not combined, in both matchups.
Wow.
Now, he didn't play in either of the games in 2024, and they did lose both of those games. One game was a 1-point game where Jordan Mason fumbled the ball at Arizona 8-yard line late in the game. They already had the lead. They were about to go up by 10 points. He fumbled, and the Cardinals took advantage of that. The second game, Brock Purdy didn't play. They were resting, or they weren't resting, but everyone was hurt in week 18. And pretty much just nobody played. Joshua Dobbs was the starting quarterback. So those games last year, whatever. They did win all 4 of their games in 2022 and 2023 against the Cardinals. I just think the 49ers have this. Christian McCaffrey obviously has to do his thing. He leads the league right now in touches. Hopefully his body can handle that and keep going. Because if Christian McCaffrey gets hurt, then yeah, they're done.
Sure. Yeah.
He's the last piece left. I like Ricky Pearsall, don't get me wrong, but you can't not have Purdy and Kittle and Christian McCaffrey. That just can't happen. So I don't think you're crazy for taking the Cardinals. I don't. I just think the Cardinals have looked so bad through the first 2 weeks, even though they've won. It's like I can't pick them to win against. I think this is by far their best opponent they're facing, even though the 49ers have all the injuries.
Yeah, I think that's what, I think they're going to play better against a better team because they have to.
Okay.
And I'm still riding the wave. I'm riding the Arizona wave.
You are 2-0, so
right.
So far you are correct.
That's right.
Next, we'll get to my favorite team, and that's the Steelers against the Patriots. And the Steelers are 1.5-point favorites, despite their defense being atrocious and the rookie running back not knowing the rules to punt returns. Whatever. I won't even get into that. Now, I know you were on the fence with this matchup, and you thought about picking the Steelers, and you thought about taking the Patriots, and they keep going back and forth. Which did you officially decide on? You still don't know?
No, I did. But I would like to say that I told you last week that I wanted the Steelers, the Seahawks to come in and shut Aaron Rodgers down.
Mm-hmm.
He got sacked 3 times. He had 2 interceptions.
And they still should have won the game because Sam Darnold stinks.
Loved it. I loved it. Okay? Now.
Did you predict that Caleb Johnson would just not know that you can't touch the ball and just not go get it on a punt return?
Listen, if he doesn't know the basic rules of the game that he's getting paid money to play, then
well, the coaching staff on
far be
Pittsburgh
it
is not
from
the best.
me to be the one to go tell him. I think Aaron Rodgers will continue to be not great this game.
Really? The Patriots secondary is trash.
I think he's too old and slow, and I think the rush will not be good for him. Now, I do think he throws the ball a lot to DK Metcalf, and they win the game. So, I did pick the Steelers, but I did have to start with the caveat that I think Aaron Rodgers is trash, and I continue to think he is trash, and still, I do think they will win this game. The Patriots defense gives a lot of passing yards up. Mm-hmm. And so I think DK will have a really big game. And I honestly think the defense, while yes, has been trash, I think TJ Watt is dying for a sack right now.
He's invincible. They paid him $42 million a year or 40, whatever. And he's just nowhere to be found.
Yes. So I think for those reasons, I did go ahead and pick the Steelers.
They have 3 sacks through the first 2 games. It's their fewest through the first 2 games of a season since 2016. Which is also, I did not want the Steelers to pay TJ Watt. I love the man, and I know he's their best defender. I'm not trying to say they'd be better without him. They would not. They'd be much worse. But at the same time, they couldn't be any worse than they are right now. I mean, they're allowing a gazillion points. They allowed Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall to do whatever they wanted against them, and then the Bills completely shut them down. They let Sam Darnold look capable as a quarterback,
which you hate.
How embarrassing. They did get a couple interceptions out of that, but they made him look somewhat capable, and dad, it's like, see, Sam Darnold's good. It's like, no, he's not, or whatsoever.
Poor Pat. He can't get through a show without being called off.
Sam Darnold stinks, and the Steelers made him look all right. But the Patriots, the Patriots secondary stinks, so I do think Aaron Rodgers will come through. Now, they have gotten a lot of sacks so far this year, 9 sacks through 2 games, and Aaron Rodgers can't move.
That's what I'm saying. He's too old. He's too slow.
So that might hurt them, right? If there's some fumbles in there with sacks, or you just can't get the ball out. And the Patriots have been able to stop the run pretty well this year so far. So if they struggle to stop, to run the ball, which they have, they're pretty much using Jalen Warren as a receiver, even though Warren looked pretty good as a runner last week. Mm-hmm. So I do think this game will be close. Right now, 1.5-point favorites. So Vegas thinks it's close too. I think it's like a 3-point game. I'm giving it to the Steelers then.
Yeah.
At 20-17.
That sounds right.
Even though the Steelers defense can keep them to 17, maybe like 27-24.
I mean, that's the thing. I think Aaron Rodgers throws. He's not going to get 4 touchdowns again. I don't think in the season, but let's say he gets 3, and he has at least 1 interception.
You just want him to.
I do.
You hate that man.
I don't like him at all.
All right, let's talk about a team I don't like at all, and it's the Chiefs. It's just fun to hate on them because
it is.
I used to like them when they were fun and new and exciting, but now we're all sick of them.
Yeah.
And it's so fun that they're 0-2. Mm-hmm. And I am predicting they're going to go 0-3. And I know they're playing the Giants. I don't care. I know the Giants are 0-2. But both of these teams are 0-2. The Chiefs are 5.5-point favorites. They're on the road. It is Monday Night Football, where Patrick Mahomes shines in primetime. Don't get me wrong. It's not like he struggles there, and I'm sure Russell Wilson will make me look like an idiot. But I think Mahomes is going to start 0-3. I think this Chiefs offense has looked incredibly terrible. Mm-hmm. The only play call that ever works for them once in a while is Tyquan Thornton getting open deep. And it's can Mahomes hit him or not? That's really it. Their defense is still pretty solid, but I think the Giants just need to focus on getting the ball into Malik Neighbors' hands. Use Cam Scatterboo, let him just use some grit and get him use some yards. I think they can pull this game out.
I think they can too, but I don't think Kansas City can go 0-3. They can't.
They just can't.
They just can't. The Giants' rush defense is so bad, right? Last week they played Dallas. Javonte Williams ran all over them. I think that's where Kansas City has to monopolize their opportunity here. They have to get Pacheco and Hunt the ball and yards. I mean, that's just what it comes down to.
But they can't.
Because he has no one to throw it to except Thornton every great once in a while accidentally, right? So they have to capitalize their run this week.
Now, if Xavier Worthy is back, I might take this back. But no, I'm still going to stick with it for funsies.
Too bad. You can't. Those are the rules that I just made up right now. And the Chiefs cannot embarrass Taylor Swift like that. I won't allow it. I just won't allow it.
Travis Kelce's already embarrassed her with his drop / the interception should have been on Travis Kelce, not on Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That should be a stat.
Error on Travis Kelce.
Yeah, we were talking about this, in baseball, right? You make the error, you get the stat against you. That needs to be a thing in the NFL. So let's figure that out. Whoever you are that can do that.
So those are all the games we're going to dig deep into, but let's run through all the rest of the games and just pick who we think will win and real quickly. We got on Thursday Night Football, Dolphins at the Bills. It's so clearly the Bills. They're 12.5-point favorites this week, and honestly, that might be too low because I expect the Bills to win by 20 points.
27.
27. Nice.
Yeah, this is a blowout.
It's a blowout. I mean,
not even fun to watch, to be honest.
Yeah. Josh Allen is 8-1 against Tua in his career. Tua's 0-5 in Buffalo, and that was when Tua was in this Dolphins team wasn't just the worst, and now they are. So yeah, they're losing. We got the Falcons at the Panthers. Falcons are 3.5-point favorites. We are picking different teams here. I'm going with the Panthers. I think they get their first win at home. I don't know if I fully believe in the Falcons.
What have they done that, besides lose that first game, in week 1 because of a kick, right? To be fair, to tie it, I shouldn't say to win. But What makes you, especially the way they played last week? I thought they were decent.
Divisional games can be crazy. I think this will be one that happens too. But I mean,
so you believe in?
I do think Bijan Robinson runs all over the Panthers, but I think Bryce Young can get it done against his secondary. It looks like AJ Terrell probably won't be playing in this game, so hit Terrell McMillan, get Chuba Hubbard some carries.
Chuba had a great game last week, so.
There we go.
We'll see, but
there we go.
I don't know.
I'm taking the Panthers. You're taking the Falcons.
Damn.
We're also disagreeing on this next one. Bengals against the Vikings. We got that backup head-to-head banger.
Woo!
Woo! I am taking the Vikings. Nycole is taking the Bengals. I think the Vikings are just the much better overall team. And even though Carson Wentz is starting, I just think they'll pull through. It's in Minnesota. The Vikings are 4.5-point favorites.
Yeah, which I think is high. I think
it is
for
high,
for a game, with two backups for quarterbacks. But I liked Jake Browning last week. I think he came in and did a fine job.
He's going to throw 5 interceptions.
I think he came in and did an okay job, and I think he's going to connect with Chase more this week, and he has to add T. Higgins to the mix. So I see Cincinnati pulling on a win here.
Okay, all right. We'll see. We got the Colts against the Titans. Obviously, we are both taking the Colts. They are only 3-point favorites. No, they are on the road. It is a divisional matchup. Like I just said, crazy things happen in divisional matchups, and it's never easy to go on the road against a rival. But the Colts offense is just, Daniel Jones looks good. And I think Jonathan Taylor will just run all over this team. And the Titans offense is Cam Ward and Cam Ward only. Like he looks pretty solid as a rookie quarterback, but he just doesn't have the weapons around him to get it done.
Agreed. I'm gonna be a Daniel Jones believer until he gives me a reason not to. So yeah, this was an easy choice for me.
I think that's very fair. Jets at the Buccaneers. Buccaneers are 7-point favorites. We're both taking the Bucs. Do we need to explain more? Tyrod Taylor versus Baker Mayfield.
I'm going to be honest. I haven't been a football fan that long. I had to literally be like, who is Tyrod Taylor? I'm sorry. Sorry, Tyrod Taylor. I had to tell her
that there was people out there who thought that the Bills should choose Tyrod Taylor as their future over Josh Allen. Like that happened in the beginning of Josh Allen's career, which is embarrassing for you people who said that.
It is.
Yeah.
So for that reason, and Tampa Bay, they're coming off of 2 really close wins the last 2 weeks, but I think 7 points seems reasonable for them to win this game.
Yeah, 7 points seems a little high, but they're home. I'm going to take it. I think the Jets are bad enough. Commanders, they get the Raiders. The Commanders are at home in this game, 6-point favorites. Now, if let's say Jaden Daniels, we're both picking the Commanders, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Geno Smith looked atrocious. They can't get Ashton Genty going. I fully expect. I know the Commanders got beat up by the Packers, but the Packers are looking really, really good.
Right.
We're both picking the Commanders to win, but if Jaden Daniels doesn't play, are you still sticking with the Commanders?
I am.
I think Marcus Mariota can handle it for one game.
And I think they need a bounce back game after that hard game last week. They just lost by too much, and I was so devastated. Ashton Genty has to get the ball more, but watching him last week, he looked like he was lost. Like he looked like a 9th grader on the first day of school. Like, I don't know where my history class is. Like he was just like this on the field. And I was like, this poor man. Although somebody said, one of the commentators was like, when he did have a few really good runs, I shouldn't say really good. They were just fine. But he was like, he's a bowling ball with legs. And I thought that was such a funny, comparison.
We really need Genty to be
So I really enjoyed that. But yes, I would love to see him play better. But I think Washington wins this game. I know I said at the beginning of the year that the Raiders have the people and I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, so it's not happening.
Yeah,
it's not happening. We got the Packers at the Browns. I do think this could be the crazy upset of the week. And maybe it's just because of my Packers hatred for no reason. But I'm still taking the Packers, don't get me wrong. They're 8.5-point favorites. They should easily win this game. And you never know the type of game you're going to get out of Joe Flacco, and he hasn't had a good game yet in these first 2 games. And both defenses are really, really good. And the Browns defense has been shutting down the run. So if the Browns shut down Josh Jacobs, and force Jordan Love to make those stupid mistakes that we've seen him make in plenty of games.
Mhm.
I do think that Browns could be surprise upsets, but I'm going to say the Green Bay Packers should still handle this game pretty easily.
Yeah, I think that's a bold thing to say, that this could be a crazy upset. I just don't see it happening. I do like the defensive battle between these two this week, but Green Bay has the offense that the Cleveland Browns just don't.
Unfortunately. And the last game that we're going to talk about, the last game of the 16 games, no one should care to watch this game. Spencer Rattler versus Sam Darnold. Please get out of here. We got Saints against the Seahawks. Seahawks are 7.5-point favorites, and I get it. Sam Darnold's not as bad as I'm saying. I just like to be a hater. But we're both taking the Seahawks because the Saints are the Saints, and they're as bad as we thought they'd be.
Totally.
That's all we need to say about that.
All
right, let's hop into our 2-minute warning to close out today's show. Typically, we do Lock of the Week, but we're going to change it up starting from now on and just do a different thing each week. And we're going to go this week with Fantasy Star of the Week. Take it away.
Okay, we'll add some good music at some point. I picked Bill Krosky-Merritt this week.
Bill.
Okay, I picked Bill. Obviously, sadly, Austin Eckler is done for the season and maybe for So I think it's Bill's turn. It's his time to shine. And so, depending on what happens with Jaden Daniels, I do see him getting a lot of carries this week. And I'm hoping he can continue I thought he was decent in the last couple of games, Bill. And so I think he has his little breakout first game.
Yeah, he looked really good in week 1. And week 2, they just couldn't run at all. And then they were getting destroyed, so they didn't run. So I'm with you. I think Bill has a massive game. I'm really excited to see him. And even if Jaden Daniels does play, they're going to lean on the run because they're not going to want Jaden Daniels to be doing too much work in a good matchup. So I agree with you there. I'm going with Nycole Collins. We have not yet seen that huge blowout game from him this year. Very highly drafted wide receiver, so he needs to be putting up more points for his fantasy managers. But last year, in both games against the Jaguars, he had in one game, he had 151 yards and a touchdown. In the other one, he had 119 yards with 8 receptions. So we just saw Jamar Chase with Jake Browning go off on them. T. Higgins had that long touchdown, too. That Mitchell Tinsley guy, talking about a guy I've never heard of in my life, he caught a touchdown as well. The Jaguars have allowed the second most fantasy points to wide receivers since the start of last year. So I think Nycole Collins has a great game. Just please, Houston's offensive line, give C.J. Stroud 2 seconds to throw the ball. Please. Please, that's all I'm asking for.
Me too. I second that motion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that is it for today's show. We hope you all enjoy the week 3 games. Please subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. If you're listening to us on audio form, give us a review, a 5-star review if you're so kind. And just let us know what you like, you don't like. We'll change things up for you. We want to make everybody happy. Share with everyone you love our podcast, that you enjoy it. That'd be great as well. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. We'll talk to you next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye.